Well, my little gnomeaholics, the gnome is back from the gnome hospital. Hospital. Look at this. Rob's done a fantastic job of fixing that. He relifted. Remember, this was like a flap that had broken or cracked, and we seem to remember it when we first had it before it got painted, that there was something there. And anyway, that went downwards. He's lifted this up and then put it in place. Wow. And you can, once this has had a lick of paint on it, you won't know that Rob has ever been near it. It's good and, good and solid. This is plasticky, I guess. And this is the fiberglass, and it's blended really, really well. It doesn't look like it's got a plaster or a bump on it. So all we're going to do is see how it's blended in really nicely. Wow. Yeah, all that will disappear under paint now. So Debbie's going to paint it. We're thinking of bringing the gnomes into the greenhouse for the winter. But I mean, it's doing really well, to be honest. Do you remember it was well battered when we got it? Was this the first one, Deb? I think this what started us off on the gnomes. I think. No. I don't know. But she's, I guess it's got to be two. How old's the gnomes now, Deb? Are they 2 years old? I guess so. I don't think 3 years old, but there's a good chance these are since they were done, and it's weathered nicely. It's done really nice. So it was painted, then it was hammered with varnish. Did it have two coats of varnish? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been out ever since. Yeah, so it's holding up really well, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's I'm really, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's very good. And the Rob's put a little step on here. This is that mealy put stuff. Mealy putty stuff. Look, it's fallen over a few times. Took a few scuffs and a few knocks, look. Because it's fell over a few times. And you don't really notice, but the reason it's pretty unstable was that's fairly flat looking, but made it lean forward. But see this one, how raised this on the right hand side, how the toe of that is up. So you won't see that now. So hopefully it'll stand a bit straighter, because it did tend to fall a bit, and it was a bit, prone to falling. Yeah. The nose of the bird's copped it. The bottom of the beard, the underneath here, it's fallen over a few times. But anyway, it's come back from the gnome hospital. Woohoo! And yes, it's still here. It's still waiting. But winter is here now. That's a major winter project, that is, isn't it? As you can see, look. He stands, Charlie. Look, it stands with the weight forward. Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Oh, you remember the deal? I've got a Robert will fix the where's that? Not a little spring in there. We might have to try and find a little spring. Because Steve from On Tools told us about the little spring. I didn't know that. It's about time we got our little booties into gear and started to make a plan. So first of all, let's put these on the wire brush. If you haven't yet got yourself a little grinder and you're thinking about it, look at this. Wow, a wire wheel, and a grindstone. You can do so much. They're such a useful and, part of your kit. You've got to get yourself a little winding wheel, grinder. Little 6-inch grinder with a wire wheel on it, or polishing wheel, or whatever you want, or a grinding stone. Anyway, we've put this on the wire wheel. And we've got something to play with now, haven't we? Wow. I think it is cast. I think it's going to be awful to weld. And then when we weld it, it's going to be awful to, hold on a minute. Yeah, look. That's going to be, ooh. It's not going to be a working, we're not a working tool. It's like a wall hanger or retain the value in it, you know. Well, not value, but if you're a collector and you collect the name, you want to, you know, or that's a tool you haven't got in your kit yet. So, look, that's going to sit in there quite nicely, isn't it? There is actually a gap in it. Oh yeah, but I mean, we can play with this. We can file this down. My idea is put a weld in there and grind it flat again. Steve came up with a brilliant idea. He said, why don't you put a milling bit in the drill and put this, do you know that vise we got that moves up and down and side to side? Stick it in that vise, the machine vise, and just little bit by little bit, just mill this down here. So we've got that to look forward to. Look at that. I think I was going to put a MIG on it. I think the arc weld is going to make way too much of a... Do you think that's going to weld? I somehow don't think so. But that's part of the fun of it. And what adds to the fun of it is it's just you and me here. It's my way or it's no way. It's my way or it's the highway. Yeah. So it's of no consequence, really. You know, and it's all practice, like Scoutcrafter says. It's all practice, isn't it? Look at that. It's in there, lovely. Ooh, that's... I was going to put like a groove in there, but hardly doesn't need it, does it? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm going to get the MIG, I think. Jam it in the vise. Make a little groove in here. So because we're going to be taking it off again. And it is quite a tight fit. You can see on this, it wasn't the best of made. We'll have to find another one and find a proper quality one. See if there's a difference. But anyway. Ooh. That's going to struggle through the hole, isn't it? We're going to have to be really careful. Anyway, let's persevere. So it's not going to work that way because it's going to be too crooked. We're going to have to put it in that way. We're going to have to leave the crack in there. Is that going to work for us or against us? Because as you come up, if you do it like that, there's a definite bend, so that's not going to work, is it? No, we're going to have to make it that way. Leave that crack in it. Concentrate on keeping this straight, because that's what's going to run up and down the runner, isn't it? Let's see if we can do something with that. It's a placement in the vise. That's definitely got a bend on it, isn't it? See it? It's no good. It's got to go that way. And of course we can adjust the slide. We can file a bit off here, and we can file a bit off the bit that goes in and out. So that's not too much of a deal. We're gonna have to do that with it, or else otherwise it'll never go in. It's way too far out, that is. It's got to go there, isn't it? Yeah. I think we're going to be able to, if we put a little weld in here, I think, once we've got the most of it off, I think we're going to get in there and we're going to be able to file this, aren't we? Obviously we'll be holding it a different way. this is that straighter? Because we can. What I was thinking of was, if it just won't fit, we could just re-drill that hole slightly bigger, couldn't we? You know, one small amount bigger, and that would make up for any movement that we need in there. And we could file, if we have to, we can file these slides out, can't we, when we clean them? Yeah, that's what's going to cause the trouble, because it's got to slide up and down and round here, haven't we? I think the thread will grip somewhere somehow. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, I wouldn't have thought. So it'll look like it's working, you know, possibly. Oh, this has given really good service, I've had it for years and years. I've thrown it around. The handle brake broke a long time ago. And I think one plug side works, the other side doesn't. Anyway, I threw it on the floor and it tripped. I mean, it's great to see that the electrics did trip. But whenever you get something like this, don't ask any questions. Just say thank you very much for being a good extension. And it should have been replaced for safety reasons years and years ago, but it's an old what's it. So let's not take any chances. Let's give it the snip, even take the plug end off, because it might have been that end. Or anyway, we've got a lead. We can inspect this if we decide to use it again. But oh dear, bites the dust, old friend. Gotta go. It's gotta go. Going together okay, but I just felt it needed a bit of a gap opening here to get that straight. This is good here. You wouldn't. That's really good, that there. And I've really squished it in really hard. So just got a nail, flattened it a little bit, just created that bit of a gap there. I feel that's better now, because this was closing and it was tending to bend it round a touch. Plus it'll help us really with this valley in here. Put a bit of a grind there, Let's see if we can get in there. I don't think it's going to work, but we can try, can't we? Yeah. And after all, it's only a £3 car boot. The fun of it is challenging yourself, having a mess about, see what works, what doesn't work. Even if you do something and you're a complete failure on whatever you're trying to do, well, you're not a failure, because you've learned something by failing, haven't you? And it's only just you and me in the shed here, isn't it? Just you and me. Yeah, just messing around. Lovely. Maybe to make a decent film. I can't make a decent film myself, so let's see what that sees. Oh, right. I don't think you'll see much. I've noticed with these, they seem to do a little bit. It's not a case of get it going and so let's see. I'm not very good at this arc stuff, this MIG stuff. Ooh. Been too close. Hold on. Let's turn you off. Well. Whether it'll stick is another thing. If I can get it on target, if that was in that groove, that might have worked, mightn't it? We might be onto a winner. Okay, we've left ourselves with a lot of material to take away, but it's sort of there, isn't it? Let's turn it round and see if we can do the other side. Let's see if it sticks together this side. Looks like it's going to stick. Looks like it's going to stick. So let's do this side, and then let's do some grinding away. So one of the good things about working with metal is you can add to and take away. So okay, we've put a pretty big slug on there, haven't we? That should be all right to grind flat. This, let's see if we can get in there and try and get rid of all of this now and run it flat. But with wood you can't add and take away at your leisure, but generally with steel, if it's stuck, you can add to and take away. That's looking so the next thing is, how easy is it going to be to, okay, we've added to this, but that'll grind away. We'll shine that up. How easy is it going to get into this hole, this thing? And how many grinding wheel stones or whatever else we've got is it going to take to cut that away? Anyway, it's sticking back together. It's feeling quite solid. It's feeling like it'll be all right. So let's smooth that off. See how we get on. Well, that went way better than I thought. We started with a slug, didn't we? Seems to have stuck together. Look at that. Just got the grinder, the tip of the grinder. All we've got to do now is make it slide in and out. So we're not far off. We can hand file that smoother now, can't we? Yeah. So let's get rid of this slug now. Well, we sort of missed the mark here. Look, that crack is still there. As long as something's holding it somewhere, as long as this side holds it for now, and look, ooh, we haven't really started on this, but it goes in this far already. So if it goes in that far already, I think we're on a winner. We're on a winner. We're not going to be that far out, are we? Just a bit more titivating, smoothing, filing, spitting, swearing, the usual thing. I think we're going to be all right, you know. Well, we might reduce down to a, and I've only done that with an angle grinder, with a clutching, as you can tell, a cutting blade on the end of it. So it could be a lot smoother, couldn't it? Just trying to get the top of this corner out. Look, there, you can feel the roughness here. So this is where the hand file will come in now. Just take the little bits off. I'm amazed that it'll go in that far already. I'm amazed it'll go in that far already. Ooh. Tiny little splatter spot there. It's just to see it, just enough to cause you aggravation. Yeah, so we'll file that away, and we'll come along here a little bit high. Hey, I've got high hopes for this, very high hopes. There's hardly a step there, look. Woo! Well, this is where the fun bit begins. Where is it catching? Where is it catching? Oh, always the way, isn't it? You can spend all your time thinking it's catching in one place, and actually it's catching somewhere else. It'd be nice to keep it as tight as it is without rubbing everything away. But where is it catching? Where was it catching originally to make it break? And you don't want to force it because you've jammed it in then you've got to knock it to get it out. This, so far, this far is great. Perfectly happy with that. It's the, where is it catching? There's a little bit there, look, isn't there? Yeah, looks like a high spot. It looks like a high spot there. Hold on. There's the, yeah, little high spot there, haven't we? Yeah. It seems all right along here. Seems a few little high spots. Up the side, look, it's catching here on the end, but that's the bit that's going in first. So I wonder if what's catching is inside there. Is that's what caused the original trouble in the first place? Down there somewhere. Let's see if we can find a drill, shall we? Because the filth is handy because it shows you where it's touching, where it's rubbing. So I don't really want to get rid of the filth, but where was it catching? Let's see if we can get a drill either exactly the same size or just bigger. And that might get rid of all of our troubles. Why you need boxes of drills, because you never know when the size you want. You need the exact size, don't you? We've got to have a size for that in here, haven't we? So that's the original size, I'd say. No good. These looked sort of made sense to be the next one along. But see, this will clean up. We don't really want to make a new hole, do we? But see, this sort of tries to fit, doesn't it? Hold it. This at least attempts to go in the hole. So whether we do it by hand or we just stick a drill on the end of it, that should clean that up nicely. With a bit of swearing and shouting and cussing. I'm not sure this is a good idea. It's going to snap the bloody drill in the hole and then we'll be in about to bother. What? I was hoping it would go up a bit better. Plan B. Drilling that hole might have helped a little bit, because look, we're making progress. How are we making progress? We're moving forward, aren't we? But where the filth is, there, it's up here. Look, there's a little bit here still, but it's this end. Is this where the trouble was originally? Does the trouble lie here? What caused this in the first place to jam? But we're getting there, and we're making progress. We are, slowly but surely, making progress. We're nearly there. We're so close, and yet so far. It goes here, but then when you wiggle it, it will go in without too much aggravation. And by the time you oil and that, and finally file it, is it meant to shut right down? I think it is. Shall we? Looks well tight in there, doesn't it? Shall we try and come at this from this side? Oh, look, we're getting there. Look, we're making progress. We're moving forward, aren't we? Yeah, but we don't want it to jam, because then somebody will force it the wrong way, and then it would be well and truly jammed, and we'd be back to square one, wouldn't we? Start hammering and tapping it. Because if you remember, it was free, and then it jammed somewhere so tightly that it broke that there, didn't it? So we want it to, and look, we've got wiggle room. Seems to be this is what's allowing it to go in. That movement there, like that. Left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. And then we come to a stop here. We've still got a little bit of left and right, tiny bit. So, I wonder if it's this end that's playing up. and that was always playing up. Yeah. So if you ever come across with a drill like this, don't be thinking, oh, there's a load of gunge and I'd have to clean the gunge off to make the drill work, because this is a cover to protect brand new drills. Hold on a minute, let me change that around. So this is how they protect. It's a plastic wax coating, whatever it is, but you've got a nice brand new drill under there. Once you've peeled it off, it's like a wax coating thing. Yeah, so if you're in the car boot and you see these drills and they've got this sort of coating on them, don't let it put you off, because you'll find under there a brand new nice sharp drill ready to go. Yeah, so that's how they keep brand new drills. That's how they keep drills brand new. So let's give this a bash. Downside, they're really great, these hand tightener, no need to mess with the key and whatever, but there is a downside. This was getting trapped, so this is well tightened up into there, well jammed itself in, and I break these all the time. But the downside, live and at the scene, is this going to come loose? Come on. Oh no, the downside is they get jammed in there, don't they? They get jammed in there, and oh, it's come loose. Come on. Oh, it's come loose. Has it come loose? Yeah. Some of them don't come loose. Oh, that's the only downside of these. You can, when you're in trouble with your drill, jamming it and catching it, you can over tighten these things, or it ends up being over tightened, and then you can't get them loose, and then you break them coming them loose. And I'm always breaking these things, always. I suspect this is where the trouble was all along, was in that side of it, and I was trying to force it open using this. That's what caused it to snap. But look at this now. I would like to have cut another groove in there just to prove that you can do that to get it out. If you can't get this wheel out for love nor money, or you don't want to destroy it anymore, or you can't get into it, the end of the screw or something has gone, I'd like to have continued with that, just to say that if you cut another tooth in there, it'll come out. But anyway, yeah, so blimey. I'm really pleased with that now, because of course it's got no oil on it yet, has it? Look at it running really freely and shutting. Well, as shut as they can get. This is what was causing the trouble all along in the first place. I'd say there was something up here that was causing it. And of course you couldn't get out of it to clean it, could you? Man, that was probably somebody's bashed it, haven't they? Burred the end up here, and they tried to reduce it, and then it was stuck one way and the other, I'd say. Yeah, so let's put it slightly better, so if they do bang it, it'll have room to move. But anyway, Roberto, I think that's quite a fine. Let's put the thread in, let's see what it looks like with the thread in it. So I think we might have a spring for that. Where would it be? Where would it be? If it's anywhere, oh, do you know what it's going to be? That, I'm not very good at sorting out the final little tiny bit. if it's anywhere. If it's anywhere. Do you know where it's going to be? It's going to be in here, isn't it? If it's anywhere, it's going to be in here. Little black spring type washer. If it's anywhere, it's going to be one of these. Look in the bottom, because the stuff in the bottom always falls. These are screws, aren't they? They're not what we're looking for. These aren't what this is what we're looking for. Yeah. This is what we're looking for. Look in the bottom. Let me see. Little tiny. So we do tiny, don't we? We do tiny. Where have I seen these little, because they're little washers, they're going to work their way to the bottom. So if you're going to find them, they're going to be in the bottom. I'm sure I've seen them. I'm sure I've got lots of them. Come on, if they're anywhere. I don't know. I may have seen them in a whole jar all of their own. I think they're little black ones, so they may have. I may have put them in a thing of little black ones. Hold on, let me dig these all out for you. Let's see. Let's just first see if they exist, or have I seen them on something else. Oh. If they're here, they'll be here or part, or we might have to nick them off another nut and a bolt or something. Where have I seen them? What am I thinking about? Do you know when you know you've got something? You've got a vague idea that you've seen them years ago. Where are they? I've got a sneaky feeling. We've got them. I'm well, whether they're that small or that size. See, we do keep. Let me look. Little baby spring washers. No, I think all this is too big, yeah. Little baby spring, look. No, way too big. Way too big. No. Little baby spring washers. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? Little baby spring washers. Come on. Come on, little baby spring washers. I don't know if they were part of something or what were they? Little baby spring washers. Little baby spring washers. Little baby spring washers. There might be two. No, too big. Way too big. Too thick as well, I'd say. Wow, we've got to go a lot smaller. Oh wow. Little baby spring washers. Little baby spring washers. Do you know, I've seen them in my mind's eye. I know I've got them. The more I think about them, it's something that I bump into. What's this? Too big, I guess. Oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. I mean, what would you do? Put a cut in that and bend on it? No, it wouldn't be a spring washer, would it? Little baby. Oh, excuse me. Little baby. Something went past my eye then. Come on, are we lucky? Come on. Oh. Not quite, no. Doing a bit too stiff. One size down, I'd say. Come on, come on, come on. Would have that gone over the shaft? Let's have a look. I don't think so. Wouldn't have even gone over the shaft. So they've got to be unusually thin, aren't they? Oh! Another one bites the dust. Don't even bother looking for it. You'll never find it. I'm even more convinced now. Little thin. Little. Oh, just at the tip of your fingers. Look. Come on. No, it's too small. That is. That's a little baby thin washer. But I don't think the right size. The good thing is, if you can go under it, you can always grow over it, can't we? Let's have a look at that one. Let's have a look at that one. Hope, because if you can find under the size, you can always find over the size. It's when you find over and can't find under, you know you're in trouble. But that's the idea, look. Thinner, smaller. But in this case, slightly bigger. So we've got under it, so we've got a chance to grow bigger. Look, we're nearly there. Ooh, will it go over the shaft? Let's have a look. It'll barely go over the shaft. Wow, we're looking for something quite specialist, aren't we? Barely go over the shaft. And barely fits in the hole. That's why I think it's a little black one we're looking for. You know what it's like, don't you? The more I've either seen one or baby thin washer, look. Oh, the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced I've got one somewhere. It's always the best thing though, somewhere. Convinced I've got them somewhere. Absolutely convinced. Hold on. Got to change feet. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. This is where this sensor light comes in here, because when we come into this dark room, it's a sensor light on. I'm convinced I've seen them somewhere. I've picked them up somewhere, somehow. Come on. Where are they? Come on, little beauts. Yeah, star washers are no good. That locks them in. Little black. Little, no. This sort of thing, whenever you're looking. That's the fibre one though. Not the one we want. That's not the one we want. It's a fibre washer. No. But that's what we want. Like that. The black one. Come on. If they're anywhere. Right to the very bottom they'll be. If they're anywhere. Ooh. Ooh, what was that? No. Come on, my little black. I seem to think I've got a whole pot of them. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I might be thinking of it and have a whole pot of the wrong size. And obviously, yeah, it's probably just made for that tool, but I may have come across some of them on my travels, mightn't I? Over the years. 30 years. Oh, didn't that drive you mad? You know you've got them. Whoa, success. Woohoo! This is the original jaw. Look, that's where we welded it up. That's where we missed welding it up, but as long as it sticks together, look at it, it's running really sweet. Running to the very end. Yeah, now listen, there is one point where it jams. There, see? Sort of clicks up against it. There again, listen to it. There. And then it's past it now, look. Doesn't take much to get past it. There's a, look at that. Woohoo! There, hit it. There. But you just have to give it a shake or a touch and it's free. So it's something ever so small. Give it one more rubbing and filing just in case it is somewhere. But look at that. Anything is possible. Isn't that a success? Wow. There, hit it. There. But it's not much of a, just have to get around that bit. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Don't be a stinker. There we are. It's over it. Yeah. It was a this way movement. Something little, tiny little something somewhere. But anyway, do you remember? It was solid. Robert couldn't get to it. There, look. See it? There. And you just wiggle that a bit and it's free. Something tiny, tiny, tiny. We'll work on that. But anyway, here it is. So shall we wire brush it? Shall we flap disc it? That would be nice, wouldn't it? All flap disced. Let's flap disc it and make that. What do you want to do, Robert? Are you going to paint it? Are you going to just wire brush it and clean it and paint it? Or do you want me to flap disc that? Just that bit, so at least you'll see that nice and clean and shiny. Depending on what you want to do. But yeah, so that's original, that's wire brushed, that's hit by the grinder. Wow, look at this. Wow. So anything is possible when you get in tinkering. I think Robert said he paid £3 for this. Yeah. And just because of the name or whatever, he'll pay. It's a Britol made in Sweden. Made in Sweden. It's a wall hanger. So what is the next step for this? Painting, polishing and shining? We'll let Robert decide that. Rob, tell me what you want. Do you want me to flap disc this, make this nice and clean and brand new looking? This surface here and this surface here, just the top of the jaw here, and then this is painting really. I don't think you could do much. Well, you take a lot of polishing, a lot of shining and polishing. You'll have to watch Scoutcrafter, because Scoutcrafter would tell us where the next step is for this, what he would do with it. Yeah. Ooh, I'm really pleased about that now. Jam, there, look, jam. And it doesn't take much to get around it. It's that way movement. Something, there, and you get over it. It's something tiny, tiny, tiny somewhere. So it needs a good old rubbing all over again. There's something small somewhere. Anyway, that's as good as it gets for now. Woohoo! You know, that's going to drive me crazy now. I've got a little pot of them thin washers somewhere. I know I have. I remember putting them in there. I have got them. I know I've got them. But where are they? Yeah. It's going to drive me crazy. Going to drive me crazy until I find them. Don't stand on the bottle, on the gas bottle, because you'll twist and break your ankle. You can't stand on things in the garage. I haven't seen them recently, but I know they exist. I know they exist. What's that there? That there. I've seen them. No. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Just when we're not looking for them, we'll find them, won't we? Yeah. I can't imagine them being in a big pot. They're in a silly little pot somewhere, full of little stuff. Yeah, silly. They're like this, a silly pot on its own. Yeah, somewhere. Oh, come on, my little beauties, where are you? Where are you? I don't imagine for 1 minute they're in here, but we might just be. We do small stuff in here, don't we? So we might be just lucky. Might be just lucky. Oh, right, we do tiny stuff in here. So we might be just lucky and find what we're looking for. But I don't hold that much hope. Because it's spare in here, isn't it? Come on. Oh, what's that now? It's tiny. We do tiny stuff, don't we? Where? You're not telling me I haven't got them. It'll drive me mad. See? I've got small stuff in small pots here. I wonder if they were part of something. They were part of something. I may have just had a bag of them and put them in a jar, you know. It's going to drive me mad till I find them. What have I been moving recently? And what? Where might I have seen them? Yeah, I've bumped into them somewhere. As you do, you know, you go looking and searching, don't you? I've bumped into them recently. But I don't know where I've bumped into them. Oh, craziness.